Do you think you got better with like multiple partners, or do you think you got better with one specific partner who was also like matched your freak?
No, I think it was probably a culmination. But like I don't know, to some extent, like with each partner, it's almost like a mini reset. You know,
interesting.
Because I just think people have such different preferences that I'm learning again. Like, okay, well, what works for you now, and what right? Like, you know, like because I'm with guys that like oral a certain way, or I've been with guys that don't like oral. So and they like
really?
want to be stroked. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like every person is so different. You can't just apply the same for everybody.
Could be me.
Now I know.
What are some questions you should ask on a first date? Let's go with that.
I mean, I think like learning about them, their interests, like what they're passionate about.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy talking about. And then you can find what you have in common, right?
Yeah, I think on a first date, it should be like a competition to get to know each other. I think you guys should like, it should be bouncing back and forth of like, you know, interesting questions to like really get to know them.
Yeah.
Because or else a lot of times dates, it's a very nervous experience for a lot of people, and they let that get in the way of like truly trying to just like getting to know the other person.
Yeah, I think what's like reframing helps you. Like if you try to think of like, if this is just a friend that you're trying to get to know better, right? Like, how would you want to get to know a friend? And I think I usually just let conversations flow. Like, I don't plan out questions. It's just kind of like, you go and, you know, how was your day? And probably they'll talk about, like, work or school or whatever. Then you dig into each thing they bring up. Like, like you make videos for a living. Like, what's your last video about, right? And then they're talking about, like, whatever it is, house plants. Oh, shit, I love plants, too. Yeah. You know, and you build off of that.
But conversation though, it is a skill that a lot of people
that's true.
You know, it's learned from just practice.
I think it's always nice to like just ask like what someone likes, right? Like I love to ask people like, so what are you passionate about like, outside of work, right? Like I get to brighten up because I get to talk about something that I love, and then they get to and so what I ended up talking about was tea, and then they also ended up being really into tea.
Really?
Yeah. I love tea. Tea makes me so happy. And then it's such an easy segue into future dates too, right? Because if she's like, oh, I really love surfing, and it's like, oh, let's go to the beach, or like, I really love tea, let's go have tea.
For sure.
So ask, just learn what they love.
This will probably be the last two. I'm trying to pull this girl that's older than me by 1.5 years. We have had 10 to 15 hour FaceTimes just talking, and her friends have told me that they think she liked me, but I'm a little too nervous to make a move. Yeah, that's another thing about a lot of these younger like relationships. It's like they do a lot of texting, they do a lot of calling, a lot of talking. Kind of nervous to like do that shit in person. But yeah, man, take her on a date. Have some of these 10-15 hour conversations in bed. You know, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, yo, you guys can fuck, pillow talk, you know, it's just it's way more intimate that way. Yeah, that's a short answer. How to break up with somebody you're too deep. Damn, if you're already having these thoughts, like
I mean, it's just one of those rip the band-aids off, and like if it helps, like honestly, like I mean, just think about the consequences of you not breaking up. Like it's only gonna get worse. You get deeper. There's no right or right like.
Have you been in a situation where?
Yeah, I think a high school boyfriend I had was like that, where like I floated it, and like he didn't want to break up, so we kind of like reluctantly dated a few more months, and then eventually we broke up anyways. Because if it's not working out, it's not gonna work out.
When did you start OnlyFans?
I had an OnlyFans March of 2020, so like right when the pandemic hit.
Were you dating someone at the time?
No.
Okay. Do you think it would be a problem for your partner if you?
No, I don't think I would date a guy that had a problem with a woman wanting to have an OnlyFans. I think I'm very body positive, I'm very sex positive, and I'm very like, do what you want. I mean, everyone has boundaries, and I think it's absolutely valid for to be like, actually, I don't want, you know, like people to see my girl or whatever. Like I think that's valid, but I think there's like, you should question like, well, why? Like why do you know, feel the need to possess somebody or to, I feel like if I had a boyfriend and I wanted to post nudes, for example, I would ask like, are you okay?
Right.
And if he's not, like we would get down to like why.
What if it's like an in between, like lingerie pictures or cosplay,
right? Or
like something a little bit like ass or something a little bit.
Yeah.
What if it's like that?
I mean, it's a conversation, and it's just like,
because like from a guy's perspective, it's like there's gonna be guys beating their dick to you. You're making guys nut.
Listen.
You are making other guys nut.
All I will say is guys already beat their dicks to my images. Like I see it all the time. Like I'm getting unsolicited dick pics in my DMs. I'm getting videos of people jerking them off just to my like Instagram selfies, right? So at the very least, like now I'm getting paid for it. Is how I think about it. So it's like I'm doing the same thing, and the only difference is I'm getting the bag. So do you support me?
But what if it is a little bit more? Because once you do start the OnlyFans, it will be a little bit more.
No, it tends to be. I think that was my experience. Is like obviously there's a lot of pressure to always do more.
Right. And then once you do see the bag coming in, it's like what is that picture worth?
Yeah, well, I think you need to set those boundaries between yourselves and have that conversation.
It is a difficult conversation, though.
Yeah, but that's why I think like the OnlyFans itself, I think like it depends on what she's posting. But it shouldn't be just like a straight no. Like that's like you're refusing to just even communicate with your partner and understand why.
I feel like especially now in this day and age, more and more girls are turning to OnlyFans or like other platforms, fan house. But how did your parents, like, did your mom, dad see like the tweets, shit like that?
I think I have a very interesting dynamic with my family, but in short, my parents support what I do, but it's because I'm very communicative with them too, right? Like they know I have sex and I like hook up and like whatever, and they know I'm doing it safely and they trust me. And then it's also interesting because I like provide for my family because my parents don't work. So there's so it's kind of an interesting dynamic where I'm kind of like the caretaker and provider, so that it just really adds that they just trust whatever I'm doing to provide for myself and provide for them. And again, I think I'm just honest about it, right? Like, my mom knew I had an OnlyFans. Like, she knew the link to it. Like, I don't, maybe she even subscribed. I don't know. But like, I think I really live with being like, if this is who I am and, I believe what I'm doing, like, isn't wrong, isn't hurting anybody, then I stand by that. Right? Like, it's not, I'm
Do they have an opinion about it at all? Or was there
they really told, I mean, it's just...
Is it one of those, like, you don't ask, don't tell, like... Because I never had a conversation with my parents about, like, posting sex-related video, like, the 4 inches enough. I never talked about that shit with my mom.
I think, my parents don't really speak English, so, like...
That's actually better. That's actually so much better.
So a lot of the tweets, I think, like, kind of...
They don't even understand.
Yeah, like she'll follow, like, my mom follows my Instagram and stuff like that, and she's always just sending me, like, emoji reacts kind of stuff. Like, just really wholesome shit. She's so cute. But, like, anything they know is what I share with them. So I'll tell, like, Mom, like, by the way, I made this much, and she's just like, I'm proud of you, or good job.
Yeah.
So I think, no, she was always very fully supportive, and yeah, she just knew that I had my boundaries and knew what was good for me. And yeah, eventually for me that was quitting my OF.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that about wraps it up. Go follow Jasmine Rice Girl for more horny tweets, and check out Fan House. That's the founder right here. You know what I'm saying?
My Fan House is just me talking about like like how sad I am. It's like so sad. Well, no, it's not all sad. I also take pictures of my walks, and I do singing covers still. But that's the kind of vibe where it's like I feel like I get to be human. Like, it's not like I'm putting on like, oh, this is for Instagram, oh, this is for Twitter, this is for viral content. It's just like me being me.
It's like a Finsta.
A little bit. A little bit. Yeah, it feels like paywalled social media.
So yeah, check out Fan House, check out Jasmine, and thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me.